Good afternoon, everybody. Chris Strong from the National Weather Service, Baltimore, Washington Forecast Office. We're tracking Tropical Storm Zeta as it moves off the Yucatan. It'll be making a general track towards our area. Be bringing some rain and potentially some impacts on particularly Thursday and into Thursday night. So let's take a look at what we're seeing here at the Forecast Office. So the biggest threats right now look to be marine winds on the Chesapeake Bay and tidal Potomac, and potentially some rainfall flooding. The storm is expected to track through the mid-Atlantic on Thursday and Thursday night. If the storm tracks a little bit further towards the north side of that gray envelope area, it could alter the impacts a little bit here in the mid-Atlantic. But heavy rainfall, localized flooding, and winds will be the main threat here for the mid-Atlantic. If there were to be tropical storm force winds, the best chance is down towards southern Maryland, again, the southern Maryland, Chesapeake Bay, and lower tidal Potomac, where there's about a 1 in 3, about a 20–30%, 1 in 4 chance of seeing tropical storm force winds, which is 39 miles an hour or greater. If we were to see those tropical storm force winds, the most likely time of arrival would be Thursday afternoon. Right now, the wind gusts expected for Thursday and into Friday are generally about 15 to 20 miles an hour for a good part of the forecast area. But again, for the Bay, for the tidal Potomac, and adjacent shorelines in southern Maryland, and potentially even into central Maryland around Annapolis area, have to keep an eye on how strong the winds are expected to be. Right now, we're expecting wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour or 45 miles an hour in those areas. And there's the potential for gale warnings to be issued for all or part of the Chesapeake and the tidal Potomac for people that potentially might be thinking about going out on the waters. For the rainfall aspect, there's a slight risk of heavy rainfall flooding across a good part of the forecast area. And the reason for that, and obviously during the fall time, especially in urban areas, clogged drains and leaves can cause problems to make the problem worse than it otherwise would be. But the expected rainfall with this is about 1 to 3 inches. This is going to be spread out over a while. So for Wednesday night, Thursday night, and even into Friday, expecting about 1 to 3 inches across the forecast area. A reasonable worst case is closer to 4. Some areas that get those higher amounts could, again, see some isolated instances of flooding. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we go through Thursday and again into Thursday night. Potential for severe storms, isolated tornadoes, mainly looks to be south of the track. So again, if that track comes a little bit further to the north, that's marginal risk that's down over southern Virginia, could creep up into our forecast area for Thursday. So we'll keep an eye on that as we get closer to the storm. So again, storm is expected to bring rain, potentially could bring impacts, and those impacts potentially could be this risk of some floods, flooding rainfall, some isolated areas of flooding. There's a very low risk of severe storm and tornadoes, but again, a little bit further north on the track could bring that up a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on that as we get towards Thursday. Wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour, again, mainly expected down towards southern Maryland and adjacent waters down there. May down some isolated trees, cause some isolated power outages. Gale warnings are possible on the waters. Tidal flooding really not expected to be a big issue with the storm. Potentially there could be some minor tidal flooding Thursday and into Thursday night. And then again, there could be some more tidal issues after this is well past into the weekend, but we'll have more on that as we get later on into the week. And right now, main stem river flooding is not expected with this storm as it's moving through fairly quickly. So that's it from now from the National Weather Service. We'll continue to keep an eye on this and continue to keep you updated on the very latest. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.